All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am so super excited to be interviewing someone from Crystal Rivers, Florida. She and her husband actually started a site called Green Shed Conversions, and they convert old vehicles into EVs. And she's a trailblazer because not too many women are doing this. Well,
Yeah.
you know, you are a superstar and you know, you're world famous. And the viewers will see when I'm speaking about BASF actually reached out and they did a commercial or an advertisement around you, which I chuckled out aloud because I guess you didn't anticipate a spark going off and you kind of jumped back. I thought that was hilarious. So I had to rewatch that like a couple of times. That was hilarious.
I know, and they even left in the little swear word.
Yeah, that's right. They did. That's right.
My name is Steve Clinton, and I'm standing in front of an electric conversion.
We live on 2.5 acres in the middle of the woods.
A drinking village with a fishing problem.
Life is wonderful here. I really wanted sometime in my life to make a difference. I was going to make a difference.
I've been converting cars since 1996. I was pretty well known for my little electric truck that I drove all over.
He called me from Oklahoma and he says, I know, your birthday's coming. What do you want? I want a 1960 pickup. And him and I converted it together. Oh, Jesus. That's my baby. Don't you dare tell me what I gotta do or don't gotta. I fell in love.
We aim to please here.
Like, hold my beer, watch me. I want to make this into a business. Doing something by yourself is always very difficult, and you need two hands. He's the best partner. Well, hello, Mr. Klein. Oh, hey, Mr. Klein. Well, hello, Mr.
Well, hello there, Audrey. That's that EV madness we talk about.
100 volts. Come on back, baby.
We're totally nuts about it.
Looking after the planet for the future generations, like my grandchildren, is extremely important to me. And the electric cars are the next step. We have a lot to do to protect all of this. Can't be done alone. It needs all of us to come together and do it.
Yes. Now, on her site, I have read that if you like a Tesla but have a beer belly budget, you have a great old memory car you just can't part with, like a 1950s, 60s, or 70s vehicle. Let us turn your classic car into a classic electric memory ride. Green Shed Conversions is one of the premier electric vehicle conversion companies in the United States with satisfied, gasoline-free, happy customers all over the country. Did I get that right?
Yes,
And
thank
so
you.
I am talking to Audrey Klum and her husband, Steve. Let me ask you, how'd you get started with that?
Oh, my goodness. My husband had been doing it for 15 years before I even met him. And he's been out there forever. But he was not, it was like a hobby. And he and I had met in a band. And he pulls up to a gig in one of these little Mazda pickups with a whole mess of golf cart batteries on it. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm in love. So I thought about it for a couple of years because we were back and forth with the band and busy in life. And I said to him, look, if I start a business, would you give me 2 years to get off the ground? Would you help me? Can I hire you? And he said yes. And everything else more from there. And we started Green Shed Conversions in 2007, and the world fell apart in 2008. Mm-hmm. And like the music, when there's no music, you hit the road. So we put a sign up, said, have meter, will travel. And we traveled from 2008 all over the United States, except the top tier states. Basically Virginia to California and back again many times. Mm-hmm. And converted cars along the way. And then in 2008, we got off the road and bought a new home together and got married.
Wow.
And we've been doing it ever since.
Well, let's talk present day because you guys are the forerunners of seeing a small I guess, tsunami of people turning their gasoline cars into EVs and just saving the environment and things like that. Now, a lot of people are noticing that, to include manufacturers. On your supply chain management is being hit right now because of parts that you can't get, and it's kind of bogging things down and slowing you down. As a small business owner, I can really sympathize with that. So when people are coming in to get something done, I guess they have to make sure that parts are available before they can actually do the work.
Oh, it's a huge coordination effort. Most of my parts are now 8 to 10 weeks out instead of 7 days, so that when all of the parts are here, then I call for the vehicle, then we start the build. So that's what I'm now doing is coordinating all types of vehicles, people. And don't forget, we also do an assisted program, which means you can come with your vehicle and work on it with my husband and learn how to do this. And it's a great father and son project thing. I've got a couple of them that are father and son projects.
Right. Now, I did see that on your site, because you do have DIY, and also they can actually, I guess, rent out your husband to help build a vehicle like that. But normally, how would something like that, how long would that take?
If it's a DIY and the customers here with us, depending on their skills, they don't need a lot of skills. There's no special tools. I have everything here that they need. They just show up. Mm-hmm. And depending on their skills, if they can work a wrench or a grinder or whatever, and they have some backyard, skills to get the motor and stuff out, first, it saves them a lot of money because I give them a discount on the labor. Second of all, if the two of them work well together and can rock and roll, probably 4 weeks. I have what I call weekend warriors. A lot of these guys are firemen or IT people who only work 4 days a week. So what they do is they'll work 4 days, they'll come back, and they'll work 3 or 4 days with me, and then they'll go home, and then they'll come back. I call them weekend warriors, and I store their vehicle until they come back, so we pick up right where they left off, and it's a lot of fun. We're literally in the woods. We are not a fancy garage on Main Street. We are literally on 3 acres in the woods with a dog that likes to lick everybody, and lots of mosquitoes.
So you don't have do they pay you a storage fee? I mean, you have 3 acres. No, you do not. That's pretty awesome. I started to say you don't take advantage of that, and I really appreciate that. I'm pretty sure people do.
Yeah, no, because you know what? They when they come under the assisted, they're paying me every week. Mm-hmm. We work on the vehicle for whatever 4, 3, 5, whatever days it is. Mm-hmm. On Fridays and Saturdays, I do invoicing, and I will charge you for that week's labor only and any small parts you put in. So at the end of the build, every week that you've worked on it, by the time you get done, you just owe me a few dollars for the last, maybe testing or last pieces that went in. You just owe me a few dollars.
And also, too, you also had the guys from Electrified Garage come down, and I saw your husband actually interview one of the guys, and they also was pretty impressed with the things that you were doing down there.
Yeah, they were very nice. And they do, the Teslas and the swaps and things like that. They're a really nice bunch of guys. And they're also somehow affiliated with Rich Rebuilds. Right. So they have those electrified garages are in New Hampshire. There's one here in Ocala, and I believe one in Fort Lauderdale. And all of them, nice guys. If I need something, they'll get it for me. If they want something or they've been really good about asking Steve about some of the stuff, how to do this or that, or how he did it. Mm-hmm. And they use some of it. They don't use all of it. Sometimes they don't use any of it, but they're really nice people. You saw the one video I sent you of her and her husband actually did 2 vehicles. They did a Gigawatt, and they did a 1946, they call it the Electruck. And I sent you that video, and I thought that was very apropos because you remind me of that young lady who I interviewed, and I think that's so awesome. And to also tie this in, I met another young lady who's actually in charge of her own company that does EV charging stations around the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. Actually, she does it all over the United States. So women are breaking down these glass barriers and these glass ceilings and stepping into the EV space more and more. And you are one of the trailblazers, I would say. I've been doing it a lot of years. A lot of years. Although there was one lady ahead of me, and she is probably from 30 years ago, but he may have passed by now, and she might still be around, but they had, his name was Mike Brown, mm-hmm. and him and his wife ran and did what was called years and years ago a Mike Brown kit. And he and she would put everything in a box and send it to you. Everything. You didn't need anything. And it was very popular. In fact, my husband's done a few of these Mike Brown kits years and years ago. And one of my first customers for my business was a Mike Brown kit. I have one of his. It's 14 years old. I still have it in my car. I still drive. I have a 67 Morris. My husband taught me how to do this on and let me do the whole conversion. It's blogged on my webpage, the whole blog. Mm-hmm. And he let me do it. And I still use it. Today it's still working 14 years later.
And last question, the majority of, well, I wouldn't say the majority, but the majority, I guess I am saying the majority. Basically, for charging, you do do you do DC fast charging at all, or do you just do the standard level 2 charging in a vehicle?
Level 2 solar and the DC fast. I do it all.
Oh, you do it all?
The only thing I can't do is the Tesla. And I heard they have a level 3 now, and I'm looking for one, but I haven't found it. But I set your vehicle up when I send it home to you. You have level 1, level 2, 110 and 240. So if you've got something in your house, you can start right away, just plug it in, and it'll slow charge. I mean, but it's going to take a while, but I got it. So, I got the public charging with a J1772, right. And I can set you up for solar. And I do a VMS where you can just look at your telephone, and it'll tell you how full or empty you are, how happy your batteries are, if there are any issues with a battery, if maybe one module needs to be self-charged or balanced, it'll tell you everything right on your phone. Right. And my husband set that up with a system that he uses.
I see that on your site. That's the battery management system. You do golf cart upgrades, the conversions.
Well, the problem with the golf cart upgrades right this minute as we speak is the batteries. We cannot get any batteries. The leafs are gone. The bolts are gone. The bolts are gone. You cannot get batteries.
Wow.
Now the CALB, CALB batteries, they're going down. They're decided to restructure their business or whatever. So I can't even offer those anymore. But those we've vetted for many years and I love the Leaf. Oh my goodness. I would give anything to get Leaf batteries back again.
And I can tell by your excitement, you're still loving it. And I'm excited and happy for you. And I hope the listeners who are watching this, and especially if they're down, it doesn't matter where they are, they can come down and see you. I'm running your site on my video right now so people can reach out and contact you, and I can wish you nothing but the success that you've already have, and hopefully that supply chain will break up and you will just continue to get parts as you so well need it. As a small business person, you definitely need it. So I'd like to thank you for taking some time out. I know you're super, super busy, and good luck to you in the future.
Well, thank you. And I hope that others will jump in. We need one of these like us in every town. You know, Ford's got a Ford dealership in every town. We need people like us, and I'll train them. I'll help them. Anything to make this a success and keep going.
All right. Well, thanks again. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, dear. You have a great day.